something everybody can feel. I done worked so hard that my legs feel like steel. It's 2 a.m. and I ain't there yet. Still got a 50 pack that I ain't touched yet. That's why they call me the gingerbread man.
Yo, Joe Flacco gets traded to the Cincinnati Bengals. And now, per ESPN, Shedeur Sanders is now the QB2 of the Cleveland Browns. But more after these messages.
I'm just getting money, I get all I can. Young bros pulling up, getting high as a kite. Ask the bread man why he's still out tonight. I'm so addicted, is what I reply. I'm so used to making money, I don't look in the sky. I get that cash when I'm out on the corner. I keep the block hot like fat men in the sauna. You send that broad at me, no nigga, I don't wanna. You can keep that trick out on a Cicero corner. I'm about my paper, man, at the end of the day. And if you ain't about that, stay the F out my way. Yeah, real soldiers don't sit and complain. They adapt to what it is and still get money, man. Everybody talk about that they hustle, but if you ain't hit them blocks, soldier, you ain't hustle. Real soldiers don't sit and complain. They adapt to what it is and still get money, man. Everybody talk about that they hustle, but if you ain't hit them blocks.
Yo, Shedeur Sanders is now made the QB2 per ESPN, saying that Joe Flacco in the report have been traded to the Cincinnati Bengals. It's a lot to ravel and wonder why these moves are being made all of a sudden. The Browns just really does not appear to be a trustworthy organization. The Browns, Travansky as the coach, kind of seem like they're running a belligerent organization. And it's like Shedeur Sanders had to endure a whole lot of BS all the way from the draft. Drop, of course, supposed to be in the first round, maybe 1 or 2, till all the way the 5th round as the 144th pick. We know the story. But in all of that, the Cleveland Browns took on Shedeur Sanders and drafted him at 144. And Shedeur Sanders ended up being in a quarterback pool of chaos. And why is that? The Cleveland Browns, per my opinion, didn't want Shedeur Sanders either. Because, of course, his father is a prominent man, a prominent figure, a Hall of Famer, and probably one of the greatest players to ever play the game of football. Deion Sanders probably overshadowed the situation, and him and his son ended up in a big collusional type of event on draft day. So it's like Shedeur Sanders is, in the Cleveland Browns organization, weathering the storm. And he came with a humble heart, knowing that he was going to be a 4th string quarterback on the Cleveland Browns. With Joe Burrow on the Cincinnati Bengals being hurt, Joe Flacco ended up being traded. And then here we go. Shedeur Sanders ends up to be QB2 of the Cleveland Browns. Dillon Gabriel still is in charge and on the field as the QB1. In Sunday's game against the Minnesota Vikings, you can say he had a D plus, maybe a C minus. A lot of people have been grading him, but what I've seen was that he was securing the ball. He was taking care of the ball, trying not to turn the ball over at all, because he know if he had turned the ball over, pretty much it would be curtains. Automatically the crowd would be asking for him to be put on the bench and ask naturally for Shedeur Sanders to get his opportunity right then. But going into this week, we found out that the Browns were still planning on doing something else. Once again, Shedeur Sanders, being the third string quarterback, was waiting his turn, and the media was all in his face, putting the microphone up in his face, and basically trying to have him say things that are maybe uncharacteristic, but no one in the history of football ever had this much coverage of a third string quarterback. Every which way in every game, every practice, they want to hear what Shedeur Sanders have to say. There have been many critics about Shedeur Sanders, and it just so happened to be one of the people that I admired because his father was the coach of the championship Bears in Chicago, Buddy Ryan. Rex Ryan took it upon himself to lie and say that Shedeur Sanders is not working well. Here's the hatred that you could hear that Buddy Ryan had in his voice about something that was actually false, that he was trying to bring to the table, saying, if I know, everyone knows. What do you know, Buddy? Well, this is Buddy. This is Buddy talking that ish.
This kid talks, he runs his mouth like he said, I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that.
So, Buddy Ryan sits there, lie on national TV, saying that he's not, or implying that he's not at the front of the class, that Shedeur Sanders is a clown. He boasts about nothing, and that he basically also said in his soliloquy, that Shedeur Sanders should be embarrassed that he isn't the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, as if Shedeur Sanders can actually make a decision for him to head someone's team that he don't own, nor is the head coach, you know what I mean, of the team, said that he should be embarrassed that he's not a starter. But Shedeur Sanders weathered that, and Dillon Gabriel became the leading quarterback as Joe Flacco went to the bench to start off the Vikings game this Sunday. But as the week in the world turns and karma and everything comes around, Kevin Stefanski, he is in trouble. Trouble. Right now, he's in a hot seat. He has nothing but losses under his belt in the Cleveland Browns organization, and so does the Cleveland Browns since 1964. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, Dillon Gabriel got his shot, and he did okay. He didn't do bad, but he did okay. He wasn't great, but he did okay. And Kevin Stefanski did what he had to do to try to protect the young buck and make sure that he called plays that was safe for, Dillon Gabriel to be able to achieve. Even though the Vikings won the game, Dillon Gabriel did not have a poor performance. So coming into the next following weeks, we're going to see Dillon Gabriel come to the start lineup and try to lead the team to wins. But they saying that Shedeur Sanders will soon be, doing the reps to get his shot as being the starting QB1. But his father, Deion Sanders, in the midst of all of this, was asked a question at the podium about Shedeur Sanders. And Shedeur and Deion had this to say.
Well, I got this text after practice. Just wondering what your reaction. Care. I don't give a damn about the Browns at all. I care about the Colorado Buffaloes. I do love me some Shedeur Sanders. Don't believe that. I care about him. The rest of that mess, I don't. Okay? I'm a coach trying to win just like they're trying to win games. But I could care less of who they traded.
Deion is sick of them putting a microphone in his face while he's in his season right now with the Colorado Buffaloes and trying to put together a slew of wins with a brand new setup that he has in Colorado, with Shedeur Sanders being that, Shedeur Sanders was the quarterback there. And, of course, Travis Hunter also being in the draft and acquired by the Jaguars. So Deion has a set of new problems that he has to take care of and that he's responsible for. But they find time to put microphones in Deion's face about his son, Shedeur, and Deion Sanders had that to tell them to go basically and shove that question up you know what I'm saying? You know what? But some of the Cleveland Brown fans and the Cleveland Brown coverers of the Cleveland Browns had a lot to say in what they thought about Shedeur Sanders' situation, as they said at the round table. But here you go.
When Rex Ryan is coming back saying the same thing that had you slide in the draft to begin with, unnamed narratives, unnamed. Yeah. So when you say if I know it, everybody in the league knows it. Yeah, you're lying, Rex Ryan. The pictures are right there. When this trope, and we'll finish on this. This trope that you're lazy and you don't want to do stuff has been a trope on quarterbacks of color for years.
That is correct, yes.
It has been. So when you start throwing out that you don't have the cognitive ability, you're not smart, and they juxtapose that with the guy who's saying you're a supercomputer. You're a supercomputer, but you're lazy and you don't want to put the work in. Then you have a problem because you're consistently attacking my character, even though you see me out at Baldwin Wallace throwing the football. Even when you see me doing extra, his arm was so sore because he stayed after practice for weeks and weeks and weeks just throwing the football. But yet every time you want clicks, you want to throw the narrative that you're lazy and less than. I can understand when he wants to get a little angry and excitable, because at some point in time, you got to stop sitting back taking the darts. Here's the thing I would say to him. Hey, what you do, your point was made. Here's now what you do. Tuck yourself away and get ready to play. Your point was made.
Yeah.
You don't have to go back and forth with Rex Ryan.
Right.
You know what they're going to bring. You know what's coming with it. So what you do now is you say, okay, log that away. Now when I get my opportunity, it's time to go.
So the thing is that everybody knows. Every single person knows. But here's a little bit more from someone that you would like to hear from.
Way better than Dillon Gabriel. He just is. If Shedeur had started from the start, game 1 against Cincinnati at home, they would be the talk of the NFL right now, because I look at the fourth quarter yesterday. They go 0 for 4 on third down because Dillon was playing not to lose. Don't throw it to them. Don't put it on the ground. And he did a great job of that. But on one of those third downs, you have to try to make a play to win the football game. And trust me, no matter what Stefanski called, Shedeur would try to win the football game because it's how he was raised. You're going to make a play because you were born to make a play.
Let's not grade it because we want to see Shedeur. Let's grade it fairly. That's all I'm saying.
I graded it fairly. Like,
you really want to? You said I want him to play bad so Shedeur can.
I do, but some teachers might want this kid to do bad. But when he turned that test in, she just got to grade that.
I believe Shedeur is better as well. But if we're going to grade, stop grading with bias.
All right, grade without bias. QBR for the game. Dillon Gabriel was a 38 on
He's a rookie after 3 days.
That QBR don't lie, man.
Doesn't lie.
Take the name off of it, bro. Just look at the numbers. The stats say the QBR was a 38.
You're talking to Mr. Take the name off of it. I'm the one who took Sanders off his jersey.
But you're not taking Gabriel off his jersey.
Gabriel don't matter.
You said he's a rookie with 3 days.
I said he's a rookie. Bro. Don't grade him and say, oh, he's a rookie because y'all want this guy in. Be fair.
But you grade him out. Well, he's a rookie with 3 days to prepare. Oh, well, let me give him a little leeway.
Okay.
I ain't no leeway, man.
Everybody say, I don't want to see Shedeur as the number 2 because if he gets thrown in the game, it's not fair because he didn't get a game plan, right? This kid got 3 days. 3 days. I said I wasn't impressed. I said he played decent under the circumstances.
So he got a D-.
Give him some time.
What grade are you giving him? D- from a key.
I gave him a C.
C.
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it?
D, not a D-, a D, okay?
C-.
A D-. Skip Bayless loves Shedeur Sanders. Skip Bayless wants to see Shedeur Sanders on the field, just like the Cincinnati, Cleveland Browns want to see Shedeur Sanders. The fans of Cleveland Brown want to see him on the field. But as we go further into what we're talking about, here's a message from our partners. Let me tell you about the simplest way to get you in some WNBA and NBA action. Find your player, pick higher or lower, and win some extra cash. Pick between 2 to 5 players to fill out your pick'em entry. Get every pick right and win some much needed cash. Use promo code STEADYSERV and receive $1,000 bonus in cash. Now that it's football season, follow STEADYSERV and ENT as I share my picks. Pick players, choose the amount, win money, make picks, win cash. Thanks, Underdog Fantasy, for your partnership with us, and thank you for using the promo code STEADYSERV on Underdog Fantasy. Shedeur Sanders, yesterday, as he was out and about, he ended up getting a microphone in his face to talk about the trade with Joe Flacco. And really, I'm tired of them continuously finding him so that he can say something offset, because he's very smart. Like Skip Bayless said, he's a very, very smart young man, and he knows how to handle himself. And the narrative that he doesn't, that they spread it all around the media, is false, false, false. So Shedeur had something to say about Joe Flacco yesterday.
About the news today. What did you think about the news today about Joe Flacco getting traded to Cincinnati?
Oh, Joe Flacco getting traded. He was definitely somebody I leaned on for wisdom, and I feel like he helped me a lot. He helped me a lot with my time being here in Cleveland, and his time being here in Cleveland. So now, you know, everybody has their own destinies and have their own plans they have in life. So I'm just happy for him.
Have you talked to him yet?
Yeah, I seen him in the facility. I seen him.
Before or after the news?
After, for sure. Yeah, and then he told me, I'm like, dang, that happened quick. Like, that was crazy.
So you heard Joe Flacco even likes the kid. And then he also thinks that the young man needs a shot. And the Cleveland Browns now is in the pickle because you got to play him, if anything else, for the fans. Because the culture wants to see Shedeur Sanders to be successful. And I told everyone once I started covering the Browns this year, because of Shedeur and because he's went under all of the different chaos and haters and the liars, that he's not ready for the NFL. Pretty much like they said about Angel Reese. But I digress and go somewhere else. Shedeur Sanders will prove every last one of these people who are criticizing him, lying on him, and hating on him. And I know that it's going to be a game to watch. So please, please subscribe to my channel. Support what I'm doing. I am at 3,140 subscribers. Wow. 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 You guys are awesome. I appreciate everything that you do. I appreciate everything that you have done. And I appreciate everything that you will do. I thank you. I'm grateful for the platform. I appreciate everything that you've done. KEYSHA, go over to the Full Court Trio with me, KEYSHA, and KEYSHA from Cut That Israel Talk Sports, and then enjoy yourself under the umbrella of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast Networks, the Players Club, with me and my partner, KEYSHA. And we got our sister Tony from Cut Vision with So Pretty Tony, and then our main man, Duvall. Come check us out. So, as always, I leave as I came with another banger. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And I'm so grateful. And remember, be good out there.
Here's something everybody can feel. I done worked so hard that my legs feel like steel. It's 2 a.m. and I ain't done yet. Still got a 50 pack that I ain't touched yet. That's why they call me the gingerbread man. I don't just get money, I get all I can. Young bros pulling up, getting high as a kite. Ask the bread man why he still out tonight. I'm so addicted, is what I reply. I'm so used to making money, I don't look in the sky. I get that cash when I'm out.